All right. Looks like I am live. So hopefully people can hear me. But I don't know. Let's see here. Um, Pull the chat up. Let's see here. All right. So that is. Camera's a little crooked. What's going on, Tyler? All right. Let's pull this here. New little setup, kind of like Mr. Owens did yesterday. It's kind of a solo thing going on. We've got all kinds of stuff to go over. Let's close that window. Uh-oh, missing a window. There's that window. All right. Everything's looking good. Everything's running. Run. Okay. New way of setting things up. So thanks, everybody, for joining me today on a beautiful Monday, hot Texas Monday. We got some stuff to go over. Like I think Mr. Owen said, and I'm going to repeat it too. Unfortunately, YouTube and Google Hangouts no longer talk together, so we don't have the whole dual casting of different people on stream at the same time. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to come around that, what we're going to do. So me and Mr. Daniel Dawson, we have a couple options. I'm probably going to be doing, this will be the FMP side of the Age of Sigmar stuff, but we are looking into doing a podcast between me, him, and a couple other individuals, hopefully from maybe one from Austin and one from Dallas, because it would be the four main cities of Texas, and we can get on a podcast, and we might start doing a podcast, and then I'll keep doing a live cast until we figure out how to do like dual live people from two different areas. We'll have to use Twitch some more to be able to use the Twitch partnership. We don't have enough. We don't use it enough. So unfortunately, that did not fall through like it was supposed to. So a little disclaimer in the beginning. So let's get into it. So I know Mr. Owens talked about 40K and stuff during Gen Con. So let's set up some Age of Sigmar stuff per se. We'll hit that first because it is more of the underworld Shadespire type world. But inside of that gives us some insight on what is to come, especially for Age of Sigmar itself in the general aspect. And then we'll touch on some WarCry stuff and then some other crazy stuff that's happening. And we'll go over that too. So first off, so Gen Con, they did talk about all the 40K stuff, and I'm not even going to get into that at all. So the Warhammer Beastgrave Season 3 for Underworlds. Of course, we know it is, Chaos or Beast of Chaos, the Beast of Gores, Ungores, whatever kind of gores. All the gores in there, Beast of Gores, Ungores, Shamans. The models look amazing. For once, they got some cool looking models for Beastmen. I like the old Bull models and the Doom Bull and all that stuff. I think those are really cool, but these ones look really good too. Would look like two of them with spears, one with an axe, a couple arrow guys, and then a shaman, which the skull that he's holding on the staff is from the Skull Bits box, just to let you know. So there's a lot of skulls lately coming out that they've been reusing from that box kit of skulls. So that's kind of cool. I like seeing that. And then second, you have the new elf race. And I think this is a really cool thing because you have, with Slaanesh getting captured and eating all the elves during the end times, and Teclis and Tyrion, basically pulling elves out of Slaanesh. You've got the Daughters of Cain, then you have the Deepkin, and now you have what is it? Was it Kurnothi, maybe is how you say it. Elf-like creatures. So they look like the satyrs with like beasts and stuff. I think they're gonna. I think every elf faction they bring out, if they're coming from Slaanesh, they all have a bit of some kind of twisted to them because of being in Slaanesh, and it's all chaos and worshiping and the whole being subject to his bowel movements, basically. So you have Daughters of Cain. They have that serpent type feel, the snakish type thing. So you've got the Daughters of Cain elves going on there, snake elves basically, and then you have the Deepkin, which are soulless. Basically, majority of them are soulless, and they have the amphibians. You've got the turtle, the shark, the thralls, the reavers, the eels. So it's all the sea base. The Atlantis, Aquaman kind of feel going on. And then you got the next new elves coming out, since they have bringing them out for Underworlds. They got to be coming to the Mortal Realms as a new army, and we'll get into the elves. But they are the half man, half deer, or moose, or stag moose, if you will, please. But that's cool. I mean, you would get an insight of what is to come. And that's always great to see, because that's always nice to see new stuff coming to the world, to the Mortal Realms, and it's always nice. So yeah, you got season 3 for Underworld's coming. With that being told, I found some stuff. There was a tidbit from somebody that they found that on September 21st, the Beastgrave novel hardback edition will be on pre-order, which is the Underworld's theme, and it has looks like Beast and Sylvaneth on the cover on it. But I have a feeling that season 4 could be, or season 3 could be, around the same time frame for pre-order. So they usually, just like the Dark Imperium and a couple other big games, they always have a novel that comes out with the game. So this is a representation of that game. So who knows? Maybe we will see the game being released exact same time as this book. So look around September timeframe, into September, possibly for the new Underworlds season 3. With that being in tow, let's go to our next topic. Let's talk about WarCry. So I'm a big supporter of WarCry. I've got all of it so far. I'm getting the other war brands. I'll have all the terrain that's coming out for it, scenery, terrain, whatever you want to call it. I have all the non-warband faction cards. I did some play testing and then played some games over the weekend. And man, I'll tell you right now, I'm calling it is okay. So Ironjaw Orcs, very tough, very slow, but very tough. They have some amazing abilities. I think they're going to go a long way. But then I also look at the Stormcast, the shoot cast, and let me tell you, if you are a minion in WarCry with a health of 10 or under and you're fighting against Stormcast, I'm telling you right now, Stormcast has a dude that can shoot one shot, one kill, one crit, basically just red mist. Very tough to kill Stormcast in general, and they hit really, really, really hard. So, and they have distance. So depending on the missions you get, or the victory conditions, I should say, or even the twist, Stormcast is really hard to fight against, as well as the orcs, because of how tough and strong they are. I did play a game, a lot of demos with the Untamed Beast, and then finally got to play with the Iron Golems. And I was like, cool, Iron Golems are supposed to be this tough type of character and unit that you use, and they are pretty tough, but compared to the Stormcast and Orc, they are nothing, in my opinion. There's some cool abilities that they have, and the models are gorgeous looking. But I still think Untamed Beast is a lot better than them for the box set. But hey, that's just me seeing what I've seen so far. But Stormcast and Orcs, Ironjaw Orcs, are probably two of the top hard war bands. I did talk to an individual and talked with a couple of friends, and I think after War Gamers Con, I'm probably going to start the WarCry campaign and the book, because everybody goes on their own campaign, and the way it's self-ran, it's contained to each warband. They have their own mission and their own campaign that they're going through, and the games they play, and the way the design, I think, is really good. I know there's a couple battle reports out right now for WarCry. Go out and look at them. I'm thinking about maybe recording some myself I'm not that big into recording. I need to. I'm trying to, but it hasn't come up yet. But amazing game. Very simple mechanics. Very simple setup. Some of the terrain cards are hard to sometimes see what goes where because of the top-down view of a 3D model. But once you get it a couple times, you're like, okay, this is how it goes. The mausoleum I've got the cards for those. Can't wait to set that up, and then this weekend I'll get the other ones, the Stormvolt, to add to the Stormvolt stuff I already have. And so then I'll have 3 different tables I can set up and people can play at the same time. Great game though. A lot of fun. The warbands are great. The story arcs are great. So I highly recommend it. It's its own contained game. The mechanics are not the same Age of Sigmar, and aspects of how it runs. And that's very brutal. Like, you only have so many turns to do stuff to get done with your objective. And so you really you can't be on a defensive end. It's a big old freaking battle. So, Tyler, it's amazing, man. Waywatcher Studios, a friend of mine, Mr. Jeff, he put together the terrain and in the box set, buddy, the terrain the direct instructions are not that great. There's a couple pieces of terrain that is not in the directions of how to build with which walls. So Mr. Steve, and let me see if I could find the link to it, but he put on his website instructions, amazing instructions, how to make sure to build the right stuff, can put it together the right way. The stairs that you get, there's 2 sets of stairs. Do not glue those in, Tyler, because those are modular stairs. You need to, you'll have to move those depending on the setup. Also, there's going to be a head and a piece that goes on top of the head. It's like a Overwatch kind of dealio. Those don't glue it on. The head is separate. They just go on top of each other for when you're using it modularly. Let me see if I can find his link real quick. He also, Jeff does, with BattleWorks, he does movement trays too. So he sells movement trays, makes movement trays. But let me see here. There it is. Oh, it's going on 12. I'm gonna only try keeping an hour, but I'm gonna, let's see here, put this up. Just getting stuff for Mr. Tyler, since he's doing WarCry and he's getting his stuff. I want to make sure he gets this piece of information. I'm going to put it in chat. The link will be in chat. Here it is. That is his link. He did a very good job on assembling the terrain for WarCry. So that's what you would want to get into and look into. It'll help out you tremendously. But it's a great game, guys. I'm very impressed. I think they're doing it right, where they're just getting. I kind of called it too, where they're going to release the game and then release the next week, try to release everything else afterwards, because they have so much coming out, and then they'll go back and release some stuff back a little bit at a time for WarCry. But I'm guessing they want to hurry up and get the product out to get people interested to play and do some stuff. I know for WarGamersCon, if anybody's attending WarGamesCon on Friday night or Friday, even maybe Saturday, I know Jeff and myself will be doing some WarCry. I will have my Iron Jaws to be played. I'll bring my Bone Splitters with me. I'll bring some Deepkin models down with me. Plus, we'll have the other 2 factions. Well, I'll hopefully have all the factions. They might not all be painted, but they'll all be ready to be played, cards and all, for WarGamesCon in Austin. And like John said yesterday, a link didn't show up. Let's see here. Let me switch this up a little bit here. Let's see here. How about now, Tyler? Hopefully that worked out. Not a problem. Good. All right. Yep. That's the great link. Like I said, he does movement trays and he does a good tutorial on the terrain for WarCry. It is, I think it's great. I think he did a really good job. Videos are great, but I think he did a better job with the breakdown. So what else do we got going on? Let's see. Boom. All right. So we did some Underworlds. Great game. Possibly coming out 21st. What's going on? Oh, there's Jeff himself. Hey, Jeff, I just shared your link for your terrain instructions for WarCry. I think it's really amazing, and Tyler's just waiting on his box, so I shared your link. Doing a shout out to him. Great guy, man. Does great product. He's awesome. We have a little thing. We have a little banter going on between us, and it's great because people don't realize it until we have to say something. But yeah, so look for Underworlds. Yeah, but Jeff, I like yours better. I mean, videos are great, but I like the breakdown. Sorry. So like I said, 21st Underworlds, possibly season 3 will come out 21st. WarCry, we got 3 warbands coming out. Storm Vault coming out this Saturday. Then we're going to see a bunch of Marine and 40K stuff coming. So now let's hit some Age of Sigmar. So first off, talked about the elves. We've got let's do Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl, I do believe they were done kind of in a way, and I totally forgot about their lizardmen. Their lizard models, I think, look really good. You've got your big dudes, like 3 of the big dudes, and then you've got like 3 skinks, and then you got the chameleon that is smacking the ball with his tongue, and then you got the slan or whatever, the little slan doing his little stand there. 821. Yeah, I think so. Because 12 is a little late. So 12 Neff. So the reason I'm bringing this up is now it's a speculation. It could be the week after, but the book is coming out the 21st on pre-order. So whatever the week after the 21st. Sorry. So 21st, look for the pre-order. And Thunder, I'll get back to you on the Vermintide as well. But the Beastgrave book, the novel itself, it's a hardback edition, pre-order the 21st of September 2019. So usually, like I said in the beginning, usually most big games that have a book that comes with the game and the book usually release at the exact same time. So I wouldn't be surprised if Underworlds comes out on pre-order the 21st as well. It might be the week after. We'll see. But just keep your eyes open, pre-order time frame, end of September, beginning of August. Oh, wait, September, August, sorry. End of September, October, beginning of October. Got my months mixed up. So we'll keep an eye on that. I know, right? Especially where they're going with Underworlds, how they're going with some, with the theme and how they're the way they're doing things. I think is gonna be great. So then it goes back to, I'm going to answer Thunder here. I do have both Vermintide games on Steam. I haven't played much of them. I did play in the beginning, but not much lately at all. But I did play them. We'll put it that way. Been doing a lot of painting and modeling and reading and preparing ever since a couple months before Warzone. It's been more of a organizational world than in-game type feel. So it's maybe I'll get back into the video gaming a little bit more. So now we'll go back to AOS. So you got the new elves coming for Underworlds, and so new elves, great. So let's talk about old elves. Let's talk about the tragic thing that's happening right now in the world of Age of Sigmar and Games Workshop. And I've got some more in detail for that with the cities of Sigmar. But let's go first. So they decided to say, hey, we got all this cool stuff go and for Cities of Sigmar, but we're going to discontinue some stuff as well. And so unfortunately today, well, we'll say this weekend has been a very hard hit for a lot of Age of Sigmar players / classic players, legacy players. We'll call them legacy players. There's nothing wrong with that. I played a little bit of legacy myself. So my condolence to everybody out there that has been affected by the Games Workshop Masters that have decided to cut a lot, was it 33 or 31 models out of the old legacy range. 17 elves, 4 dispossessed, and 12 free peoples. That is the count. Now, with that being said, I'm a dispossessed player. I have a box, and I'm going to point it out right here. This box right here is a Dwarf Army original old box. Then I have a case that's behind it filled with dispossessed. Yeah, I have a feeling that they are going to be put out to the pasture here, and I might get rid of them between cannons and organ guns and all that good stuff. Because for the dispossessed units that they got rid of, which is very interesting, the Quarrelers, the dispossessed warriors, and the Thunderers, which you still got the hammers, you still got the all the rest of this good stuff, but this is all the older dwarf stuff, and then the Unforged, which was the Slayer / reboxing of the White Dwarf. The last White Dwarf they did was the Unforged model, exact same model, and they put him as the White Dwarf model. So very depressing on that one too. But they got rid of all 4 of those. They still kept the Warden. They still kept the fire. I think the fire drakes and all that good stuff. All the newer ish stuff. And it is what it is. Then, so bye dwarfs. But then they got rid of elves, spell weavers, way watchers, way finders, way striders, freaking lore masters, white lion chariots, dragon nobles, archmages, demon or dragon blades, glade guard, or sky cutters. So with the elves getting pulled and the dwarfs being pulled, and we're like, okay, so the free peoples, let's see what they get, what happened to them. They took gunmasters, free guild generals, the war priests, they took free guild archers, they took organ guns, cannons, the war altar, like crazy. And very just crazy. Like, why are they doing all this? And of course, it's probably because they're trying to slim down their range again. Things that don't need to be supported, model wise. They're all going to still have their original rules, and you're going to still be able to use them, and it works. But then I was like, well, why? Why take all this stuff out? Are they going to be used in the free city or free people, or was it the cities of Sigmar, right? And so I found a post. And the guy basically asks, and I can't see the whole post. I'm going to read you what he was asking, the half of his post, and I'm going to tell you what the Warhammer Age of Sigmar posted for him. He had something to do with Wood Elf Army and Cities of Sigmar, or did they get knocked down to Allied tier? I am just trying to figure out if I should bother finishing the Glade Guard I bought before the announcement. Thanks for your time in advance. So he's basically talking about Wood Elves and Glade Guards and all that good stuff. And so the guy says, Glade, this is from Warhammer Age of Sigmar, not anybody else. They reposted this. They replied to his post. And they said, hey, Mario, Glade Guards still have War Scrolls and match play points. So you can still use them as past of a Wanderer's army using the rules in the last General's Handbook. The Glade Guard and the hero miniatures that were retired, so they've been retired. That's what they're calling it. Miniatures that were retired will not feature in the upcoming Cities of Sigmar book, but this book will give you some cool new ways to use the remaining models from the Wanderer's range. So everything that they just pulled is not going to be in the book. But whatever is still alive, guaranteed, should be. Basically coming from their lips from the post. So we'll have to wait and see, which really kind of disturbs me with my dispossessed, because organ guns and cannons were part of the mercenary force with the gyrocopter and the cogsmith for Age of Sigmar. And now they got pulled because they're retiring them, but you can still use them because there's rules. So I don't know. Maybe I might keep a couple cannons, because I think I have 3 of each. So I might keep an Orga gun and a cannon or 2 of each, or I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'm keeping my Cogmaster because he didn't get pulled. But I'm probably going to get rid of my whole dispossessed army, unfortunately. So more to come on that one, right? What else do we got going on? That. I don't know. I finally played a good game with my Iron Jaws with the new General's Handbook. I've seen him played, and I played him, and the one trick pony is really cool. Teleport him. You use command. Spell. You get your teleport off. Use your command ability, or you can wait till next turn, get your charge off, kill some dudes, hold some dudes up, get some things killed. What is it? We played whatever mission we played was for Wargamers Con. I forget which one it is. Duality Death. That scenario is very unfair. And aspects is as long as you hold the objective for 3 turns, both objectives. If you can get both objectives for 3 turns consecutively, there's no way that your opponent can come back and beat you to win, because you hold 2 objectives, you get 2 points first turn. You hold them again for the next turn. Now that's another 4 points. You're at 6. Hold them again for the 3rd turn. That's another 6 points. That's 12 points. They can't catch you after that. So it's a very for Iron Jaws, it was really easy to win objectively, but I got tabled. I had one freaking Weird Knob Shaman left on the table to us hiding, but everything else was gone. But I already won by turn 3 objectively because I just blobbed the objective. Now for me, my turns went like this because there's no rerolls. There was nothing going on against the Stormcast I was playing. And the Stormcasts were very, let me reroll the hits, reroll the saves, reroll the wound, let me get some mortal wounds. Like, it was just like watching him roll dice for an hour and a half. It was great. So Iron Jaws, I love what they're capable of doing, but I can't wait for the book. So we'll probably see the Iron Jaws book, and probably after all this Marine stuff that's coming out the next couple weeks. So interesting. What else do we got going on? I want to make sure I hit everything else. We got that. Talked about WarCry. We've talked about Underworlds. Yeah. Oh, okay. So one other thing too. So if you guys are just into board games, you like the lore of 40K, and you love the lore or the thematic or the areas of Age of Sigmar 40K, there's 3 cool board games that came out with recently. You've got Stormbolt, which is an Age of Sigmar actually board game with models from Underworlds. It's 6 models that they took from Underworlds, threw them in this box, and it's an actual board game. And you control some, and they're all heroes, and you control them, and you'll explore the mortal realms in an epic quest to open the long lost Stormbolts is basically what it comes down to. I'm actually really intrigued about that. I might look at getting that board game and maybe running it a couple of times and see how it is. As well as they brought out a kid-friendly, I'm going to say this as a kid, yeah, I think it's kid-friendly. It's the Dread Fiend Underworlds game. And so it's 3 Stormcasts and 4 Ghosts and the pre-con decks, and it's really just easy to get in and play compared to the other bigger sets. And then you have Combat Arena for 40K. Let's see. This is more like the board game with a Gore Chosen from Age of Sigmar. Basically, same idea. A 40K version, I believe. It looks cool. It comes with 5 models. So, again, good way to get models. If you just want to get some models, play some games, some board games, easy way to get into it right there. What else do we got going on here? My excitement for Cities of Sigmar has been diminished a bit, but might still end up being cool. I'm still hyped for Orcs and Ogres. Combat Arena seems like a tighter version of Lord Chosen. I love Lord Chosen. Oh, yeah. So, Tyler, I agree. I was very stoked for Cities of Sigmar because I was hoping for a very awesome Hammerhall type army between maybe some Fire Slayers, Dispossessed, basically I could grab a bunch of models from Order and put them together and make them my own army for thematic purposes. Then pulling all those models, I'm upset about it because it's really rough when they do stuff like that. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, there was no draconic night elf stuff, so that was interesting. They didn't pull any it was really weird. Like the steam tank's still there. So most of the Arsenal, Ironwell Arsenal, the Cogsmith they didn't pull because I guess he is part of the Hammerhall board game, which was really interesting that they didn't pull him. They didn't pull the siege tanks. They pulled the freaking human with the scope. They pulled the organ guns. They pulled the cannons. The gyrocopters or the gyro bombs they did not pull. So it was very weird, their selection of what to pull and what they didn't pull. That's going to be, when that book comes out, I can't wait to see what it is and how it's designed. The Lore Master, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the Lore Master was in Shadespire. Actually, I have the box right here. Let me just look. Or not Shadespire, I mean Silver Tower. Let's see here. And if it wasn't the Lore Master, then it was somebody else in another box. But let's see. Yeah. Okay, so they have a War Priest in here. Oh, so he's okay. Yeah. So Lore Master's in Hammerhall, but the War Priest is in here, in Silver Tower. So you can still at least get the model. Well, if you have Silver Tower. Yeah, it's just weird. They pulled the War Priest too, and they talk about them in the books. That's another big one. Like War Priests are part of the novels and part of Gortrex. He's in that, very well. Awesome. 12. I still need to pick up Hammerhall. I have my Shade Silver Tower. I even have Blackstone Fortress, which is another great game. Fun games though. Let's see what else we got. Of course, the Sylvaneth FAQ dropped. Cleared up some rules, and that's where I found the whole Glade Guard, sorry. Let's see. I'm see if I'm missing anything else. We got the Warhammer Underworlds. Anybody's got any questions? Let's see if Miles get a revamp. Hopefully they get. Well, okay, so I thought about that 212. But they pulled 2 units that had circle bases already too. So Glade Guard, I believe, and the Dispossessed Warriors already were reboxed with circle bases. So I'm just, that's kind of a weird that they already pulled them. They're not going to get any more models for that either. So I don't know. We got for Age of Sigmar itself, we have the 2 destruction books, the Ogre book basically, and the Iron Jaws, the War Clan book for Iron Jaws and Bone Splitters. I was hoping for a new video that for the Blood Tithe, or not Blood, the Necropolis, videos. So we didn't get one of those videos. I was hoping for that. Have been a good time to throw in a new video for, the new mystery death race, basically. They didn't. What else? I know there's some books new from Black Library. Let's see, 40K. So you've got the Beast Grave. You've got what is that? It's 2 books. What is that one? Graham McNeil's. Looks like a 40K book. Okay, never mind. So yeah. Sometimes in the books too, they might show you some interesting previews. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, once, and we've called it within the community. Once Age of Sigmar hit, they took away fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy. The end times happen. the new, Age of Chaos happened and Age of Sigmar happened. It's still the same universe per se, the timeline. It's still Warhammer in general. And so in the Age of Sigmar, not because it's the game, it's just that's the age. Technology age, Age of Bronze, Age of this, Age of that, right? All those fantasy armies, basically, there's only bits and pieces of them, little facts, little pockets of them that survived. And after a while, Games Workshop wants to work on their IPs and be able to hold on their own, make everything their own. So they have to phase out some of this older fantasy stuff and make stuff their own. Like, them changing the name of elves to elves or whatever, how you ever want to spell it, the orcs to oryx. So they're making everything their own, and which is great. It's a business. But at least they're bringing out great stories. The stories that they've been doing, patching up things and attaching things and moving it along and explaining things, and I think it's great. Like the new White Dwarf coming out. They go in depth to the Tomb Celestial, the Sempiternal. I can't even talk to it. Blah. It's the Sacrist's Chamber of the Anvil of Heldenhammer. They're going into some more fluff and getting into that sect, we'll call it. And I think that's cool. They're building the stories through all these people. I would like to see more Ironjaw factions or Orc factions talked about, but they can only talk and grunt so much, and people might lose what they're trying to read. They do also go into the realm of light in the new White Dwarf, and that is the twin elf gods, Tyrion and Teclis. They are in the realm of light, so I can't wait to get the White Dwarf to read about that too. There's a short story by Nick Horth called Blood Hunt with the Untamed Beast in it. I can't wait to read that too. So they're good. They're doing a good job with Age of Sigmar. I'm glad they haven't combined anything. Like they're keeping Age of Sigmar and 40K separate as much as possible. I know this new thing coming out for 40K is the Psychic Awakening or whatever it is. And I'm hoping they don't combine stuff for Psychic to be like Age of Sigmar magic. I hope it's not like that, but we'll see. And so then something else I'll talk into, and I know John talked about it for me on the last podcast or live video yesterday, but I did win our stores ever chosen. Yes, we're pushing this. Is not trying to be annoying about this, but I did win our local store, and I did submit my pictures for the next round of voting. So once that goes up live, we'll throw it up, and if you guys choose to vote for me, that's on you. I'm not asking you to vote for me on the online voting. Go through and vote what you think is the best. It'd be great to get an invitation to go to Nottingham, for doing this for so long. I've been in this hobby since toward the end of second edition 40K is how long I've been in this hobby. And I've learned how to repaint a couple of times because I had a brain injury when I was in the military in Afghanistan. And then with the new paints for the second time, all these new paints and techniques, had to kind of learn again. And I've been busting my butt on it, but at the same time, I've come a long way and I'm trying to do as best I can. So it'd be just great to knock off something off my bucket list to end up trying to get to Nottingham. I don't know if they're paying for it, or if I have to pay for airfare, or I don't know how that goes yet, but it'd be pretty cool to win something like that. Or even becoming one of those, what they do, the yearly ambassador, voting for, who's the best, general of the year or whatever. We do have one in Texas. Mr. Dan Norris himself is one of those ambassadors. He is on the wall in Nottingham. Great for him. That's just amazing. Like, that is totally awesome. So, but yeah, so I did get the Ever Chosen, posted it, the paint job. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't know how the voting is going to go in general. So it's just an online voting. There'll be a website, so I don't know if you're going to be able to just vote for one or vote for 20, or I don't know. But yeah, got that going on. We got I'm running a tournament this weekend for Tamakabi for the War Games Con prep. Running a couple missions. Duality of Death, that's the one I ran, which is really, again, it's really, I don't say one-sided, but it's an interesting mission. And then for Wargamers Con, I will be doing a TO for the Age of Sigmar tournament, and as well as helping do the live coverage of the game on Top Table. We'll be doing that for Wargames Con. So I'm excited for that. And then hopefully my orc book drops before Slambo, and hopefully I can get up into the Slambo and play with my orcs, or I might just go up there just to hang out. I mean, I'm loving the aspect behind the scenes part of things. Really enjoy it, like seeing people's faces, how fun they get when they're playing the games, the enjoyment. Just being a part of the whole environment makes me happy. It tickles me pink. All right. Let's see what we got here. Chat. The spell. Let's see. That's awesome, 12. Yeah, one of these days I'll get to Warhammer World. One of these days. Oh, the new crazy. I think they're going to be psychotic elves. I think they're going to be a split personality elves between beast and beast and elf. They're going to be very feral. It's going to be great. I think the models look great. One of them, there's a couple good memes about one of them. Yeah, so then we'll have our reptilian elves, we'll have our sea elves, we'll have our beast elves, and then we'll go from there. The warband, I mean, they're just let's see if I got any more information on it. They are, I don't know if they're from the realm of light. That's the only thing. I just know they are, it's what, okay, so Teclis and, Tyrion are the ones pulling elves out of Slanesh. And so, reforming them, or whatever the case they're doing, how they do it, whatever their magic they're using. So this will be the third faction they pulled out of Slanesh. It's got to be. Or these guys somehow crossbreeded in the forest of whatever forest, wherever realm they're in, and made some crazy new type of elf. So, see, and Tyler, the Grod Sky Pirates, they're in the book. They're in the book with the KO overlords. So we might see them eventually. Who knows? I mean, I thought that would have been a really cool thing to do overall. Let's see. Trying to figure out what else we got going on here. I mean, that's mostly it for Age of Sigmar. That's all the little Age of Sigmar stuff I could find, and hints and little knickknacks, and again, right now it's a big 40K month. Good for them; they need it. But you've got a lot of Space Marine stuff coming out, which is cool. If you guys didn't know, for Adepticon, they're bringing the Crystal Brush has left Adepticon. Now it's going to be Creature Casters, Resident Beast, and then Games Workshop's Golden Demon will be at the Adepticon now. So something to look forward to. Can't wait to see how that goes. But yeah, so we are. So we've got Space Marines. I think it's going to be Space Marines the next couple weeks. We're in August, so I think September we'll get some Age of Sigmar stuff, because they're pretty much done with Necromunda. They did the little X-Wing jet fighting board game coming out. They've got the I think it's just Space Marines. I got a lot of Space Marine stuff coming. So well, if you think about it too, they haven't been getting much love. The 40K universe has not got much love in the last couple months, possibly. It's been Age of Sigmar, Age of Sigmar, Age of Sigmar, Age of Sigmar, some Necromunda, some Blood Bowl. They had the Chaos release, Chaos Knights. So I think it's their time. They deserve it. Once they're released done, like I said, I think September, October will be Sigmar. I'm hoping September more than October. Because the Cities of Sigmar book, I don't think we'll get cards. I don't think there's going to be much behind that. I think it's just going to be a book with a bunch of stuff in it. And then you're going to get the what is it? The Apocalypse. That's why I don't remember that, Jeff. Like Apocalypse. I'm like, okay, cool. Apocalypse is out. Have fun. Bye bye. But then you're going to get Orcs. Orcs. The only thing that they got to do with that book is endless spells and terrain. I'll probably updated cards. And they'll probably do dice because it's a whole brand new book of 3. And then you're going to have Ogre book. So the Ogre book will need new cards. They'll have dice. They'll have endless spells. They'll have terrain. And they'll probably get a model or 2 new models. So, for Age of Sigmar, it's easy. It's just update books. And then, of course, we have Seraphim that still needs to get done. You still got Slaves to Darkness, which is a good sign for all this WarCry stuff because they're all labeled as Slaves to Darkness in the app. So this is part of the new stuff. And there's two hidden factions, quote unquote, that still need to be released. So yeah, I think it's going to be good. Age of Sigmar is pretty easy, and I think the way they're doing the General's Handbook, and they talked about it, they're going to get everybody updated, and then they can just change point costs like when they need to, and then they'll do a book to update stuff. But that's it won't be anything huge or major anymore because I think at next General's Handbook you won't see Wardens, you won't see Dispossessed, you won't see any of that stuff. So. And then we have, of course, like Sister Battle for 40K will be in November. You'll get new box sets in December, like always. And that'll be it for our physical year. That's what we'll probably see. But I think they're on the right direction. I think Age of Sigmar is doing quite well. It's picked up quite well. I've got a lot of stuff to build. I've been building a lot of stuff, and then I'll have to paint it all, of course. Just trying to see here. Working on my Resin Beast paint job as my zombie dragon. Once I get him primed and some base coats, I'll start showing that off. Look for me on Twitch. I'll be using the FMP Wargamers Twitch. I'm going to probably do a lot of painting and just like rambling on Twitch just to help us get the numbers up for that. If you guys ever want to you get bored and want to jump on and bullshit on Twitch, be more than welcome. Just jump in. We'll just shoot it and just have some fun. And again, me and a couple people, me and Daniel, and we're looking at trying to figure out something else to do. We want to do some deep dives. We want to get into the books. We want to talk about strategies, not stratagems. Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Shame on me. 12, awesome. Yeah, so like I said, WarCry is great, man. Very simplistic, very easy, very brutal. You got to be very aggressive, unless you're Stormcast and you just sit back and shoot. But yeah, we'll just have to see because this year, we'll just see. I don't know what they're gonna do after this year. Let's see, what am I looking for here? Got that. I got that. Yeah. Other than that, man, I have nothing else going on besides painting, building, WarCry, tournaments, GTs, supporting friends and family. Okay, so my personal username on Twitch is ski or FNP ski, FNP_ski, and then you'll have FNP Wargamers as well. So I'll probably just using, I don't know, I might use mine or I might use theirs. I don't know which Twitch account I'm going to use yet. Because once we start using Twitch more, we'll get the partnership in, and then we can work as a team and get the everybody on the screen at once and talk about it. Once we get that partnership, I appreciate it, 12. For everybody going to WarGamersCon, like I said, I'll be there. Catch me. BS, get some photos. I'm not like a celebrity or anything like that. I'm just a guy. Just cool. I'm able to do this and help people out and give you guys some information and have people, like 12, Tyler, Jeff, and everybody else that's watching and subscribing and hanging out with us. It's an honor to be able to do this. Then we've got, so just to give you a recap of what's going on the next couple months for us. So we have local tournament this weekend. The week after that is the Warhammer Citadel's grand tournament for 40K and Age of Sigmar. The week after that is War Games Con in Austin. Then the next big GT is the Slambo GT in San Antonio. Boom, boom, boom. So let's see here. Boom, August, September. So September 3rd, like during September, is the ever-chosen voting, and then we'll find out the 3rd, I think, as I said, at the 3rd of September is when we'll find out the 3 winners are. Then you have Slambo. Then you have all the good releases on that. What's the date on Slambo? Oh, let me find it for you. I have it pulled up right over here. Let's see here. Let's find it. Slambo. Let's see. The Slambo Warhammer Age of Sigmar Grand Tournament. October 5th is the date for Slambo. 5th and 6th. It's going to be at the DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel, San Antonio Airport. I don't know if it's sold out yet, but I'm pretty sure it's close. I haven't got my ticket yet because I'm waiting kind of to see what comes out beforehand. And then what else we got going on? So that's okay. So for all the guys out here, and I know not everywhere around Texas and you're not doing Age of Sigmar, but in your local area, you get that Age of Sigmar community going and kind of be what we're doing. Because we have Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and Dallas. This community, this is an amazing community. I can't even speak highly enough because we come together. We have this competitiveness, but we are one team because of the hobby. And so we have the Texas Masters going on. So we had the first GT at Warzone, that big GT for that. Then you have the Dallas tournament. Then you've got the War Games Con, and then you've got Slambo. And then the top 20 are invited to go to the Great Wolf Lodge in Dallas to play in this top 20 massive, Age of Sigmar tournament from the Masters just for Texas. But then there's also going to be a doubles tournament that everybody can play in as well at the same time. And I'm trying to look at doing that or LVO because there was an invitation where I possibly can go and actually TO LVO Age of Sigmar, which would be really good. But we're trying to convince another individual in Dallas to play in the Masters tournament because he should, and I can just run the Masters that day, those 2 days, and I can just run it. It's not hard. It's basically self-contained. Those guys are amazing. Our community is amazing. So there's not a lot of judge calls and issues like that. Especially with the top 20, these guys are always the ones winning the tournaments, in their local areas, and so there shouldn't be much issues anyway. And then when you have the doubles playing on, there's going to be no issues because it's the fun doubles tournament, and that's always fun to play in anyway. So we'll see what goes on, and that will be the end of January. So we'll see. Who better? Oh, I know, right? And he better not TO. He should be playing. We know who we're talking about, but he should end up playing it. But for what I'm saying for you guys, local community, and it doesn't have to be Age of Sigmar. Any games you guys play, try to pull together and making community to outreach. Get other people into it. Have some great events. There's so many businesses out there and people out there that once you go to them and explain to them, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we play, show them some stuff. A lot of people out there will help sponsor it and help put it together. You need a place to play. There's plenty of places that you could go to. So it's going to be awesome. Let's see. So just a little shout out. I'm a community guy. I love making people happy. I like seeing people smile, having a good time. That makes me happy. Let's see here. I think that's it for tonight, though. I don't think I have anything else, man. Anybody out there? You guys out in the FMP channel, YouTube channel? You guys have anything for me? You want to talk about questions you want to ask? things you want to see that I might be able to help you with. Yeah. Okay, so my projects at this moment, besides my Resin Beast project, let's talk about that. I've got the WarCry stuff I'm working on. I've been, and I'm talking about the terrain and the guys. I haven't painted much of those because there's so much I got to do for that. I've been working on, I've got a lot of terrain because if you can see right there, I've got that big piece of terrain I got to work on. And then down below here, I still got Deepkin stuff I need to work on and put together. I got a lot of it up on my shelf I need to paint. Savage Orcs are painted. They just need to be updated. My Iron Jaws are about 80% done in aspect where I want them for a while. I just got to work on my 30 boys to get them up to where everybody else is at. Deepkin, I've got a couple models painted for testing for the army. The turtle itself is almost done for the army. Most of all the endless spells are done. My moon that's up in the corner is 80% done. Get him done. I'm big into terrain too. If you haven't noticed, like all the terrain's great. What else? A lot of the creature caster acrylic paints. Okay, I want to tell you right now, they are amazing paints. I got the whole set, the new sets that they just came out with, the old sets that their base colors. The white is amazing. All their paints are amazing. Fantastic soap. I use it for all my brushes. Is an amazing. Master's stuff is not that great compared to her stuff. The models they have are amazing too, especially the newer stuff. But their paint line is great. I haven't had any issues. They got some transparent paints. They got metallic paints. They even got metallic medium. Works really well. So if you had a chance, wondering about their paints, they do some discounting. The more paints you use, the more paints you get, the more of a discount you get. Their brushes are amazing too. I do have all their paints. I have all their paints. I've got all the GW's paints. I've got a bunch of airbrush paints. I got Vallejo paints. I've got Secret Weapon miniature paints. I've got old classic second or first edition Citadel paints. I've got the pigment paints. I've got some airbrush paints. So yeah, paints. What else we got going on here? Bam. So yeah, I've been trying to read some, listening to the lore and reading. The last thing I have actually listened to was the Gortrex audio drama. I cannot wait for more. I haven't read any new novels lately. In comparison to any new novels, I know I got to pick up the new. So I did 40K since second edition, and I have stopped playing 40K, but I still read the lore as much as possible. And so let me see if I can turn my camera just enough to show you. Let me see here. Let's see. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so the top shelf, if you see on that bookcase on the right, is the Primarch set. So I'm picking up Conrad Kurz this weekend, and I've read all those. The ones next to it are the Horus Heresy novels. Underneath is a full set of Beast Arises novels. To the right of that are all White Dwarfs, and the last shelf underneath that is the Munchkin 40K box and all the White Dwarfs underneath that too. And then you see the collection on the left-hand side, bottom shelf. That's all the end time books, the hard books. And then everything on my iPad. I got a lot of books on my iPad as well. So, and it's mostly, codexes and whatnot too. So, turn this back around. I'll turn it just like that. Maybe that's a little better picture. There we go. So yeah, so other than that, I don't know how to stop this. There's that. Okay, there we go. So there we go. Yeah, the Beast of Rises was hard, Tyler, to get through because of the fact that there's some mute points into it, but you've got to just fight through it, and it turns out really well. Just like the Horus Heresy, just like the Primarch books, all of them are great, and there's some just moot points in the books themselves, but they're great. Then you've got, like I said, I'm a White Dwarf guy. I was fortunate to pick up a lot of these White Dwarfs from an individual, but all the new, so they went from thick White Dwarfs to thinny White Dwarfs to back to thick. I am missing, I think, 7 or 8 of the thin White Dwarfs to have all of them. And so I'm looking for certain numbers to finish my set there. And then I have all the updated, the new thick white dwarfs as well. But yeah, I think I don't have anything else to cover, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it for me, really. On time, about 2 minutes to an hour. I think we're good. Anything else? Anything else? That. I will have to look into it. Let me actually look. Hold on. Aha! See, I found it. So it's, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I have 8 of them. Let's see. Let's see. 80, 85, 89, 90, 101, 103, 105, and 106. But you don't need to send them if you have them. I'm just one of these days I'll get to them. I can't wait to meet some of you guys in the world. But it's cool. I mean, it's a great collection. Helps me paint. Helps me. There's a lot of cool stuff in there. But yeah, other than that, I know I'm finishing up the last 5 Chaos Champions. Actually, is what I'm painting on for the guy that won that charity army. Hopefully he'll be at War Games Con. If not, I'll get him to him after War Games Con. Just been busy. But yeah, other than that, man, I don't think there's anything else. So just look for us, guys. Look for the podcast that we're looking at doing. I think FMP we might be doing a podcast as well as an FMP, and then I'm doing a podcast, not 100% yet, with Mr. Daniel Dawson and a couple other people. Kind of make it a fun little thing people can listen to while they're driving, modeling, painting. They don't have to actually be watching. They can just listen. And then once we figure out the whole Twitch thing or another way to get all of us on stream to talk to each other, we'll get that going when that time comes. I know Mr. Owens has his show that he does by himself. I'll be doing this at least once a week, Mondays, like I said. Look for me on Twitch as well, because we got to start utilizing Twitch more to get that going. And yeah, so I appreciate everybody out there, all the Patreons, all the people who are in chat. Everybody has come on and is watching me make either having a good time with me or make me, or I look like a fool. Either way, I appreciate it. I did post in the channel, the Discord. There is some tabs in there for people to start sharing photos if you can. If there's any issues with Discord, please let me know, because I'm still working out the logistics on it for per channel. Because there's different channels you can submit pictures. I want to see what you guys are working on, please, so I can bring them up. If you can't post or anything like that because of permission-wise, once you join, I'll give you guys some certain permissions to do it. So, but thanks everybody, Patrons, non-Patrons, friends, families, other communities, everybody. And so I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you guys and FMP themselves to let me do this. So you guys have a great rest of the week. Have an amazing weekend, and have fun with the hobby. Don't let the hobby get you down. No matter what kind of curveball or bad vibes the hobby gives you, find a way to make it better. And with that being said, this is Ski with FMP, and you guys have a great rest of the night.